Welcome to the show about all things making music, from the creative process and workflow to gear and recording techniques. I'm your host, Brian Funk, musician, producer, Ableton certified trainer, and author of the 5-Minute Music Producer. Let's learn to become better music makers. Welcome to the Music Production Podcast. Lomotor is a musician and producer who makes nature-inspired electronic music on a small farm in Massachusetts. His new album, ABCAPSILAHAD, combines electronic and acoustic instruments with field recordings and the sounds of leaves, trees, and birds. We had a really interesting conversation about finding inspiration and how Lomotor likes to use nature and work outside, incorporating the natural sounds and environments into his music. This episode comes with some special gifts. First, there's Lomotor's creative guide, 8 principles that he tries to follow in his music making. Second, there's free downloads. Lomotor provided me with various recordings and Ableton Live instruments he used in his new album that were made from field recordings and live nature sounds he recorded in rural Massachusetts. Listeners of this podcast can download the Hollow Tree Percussion and the Stone Drums Ableton Live drum racks for free. Members of my music production club will get the full collection that also includes hemlock percussion, leaves percussion, wood drums, and melodic instruments of bird calls, as well as a few additional field recordings. You can get the free download and learn more about my music production club and get all the show notes for this episode at brianfunk.com/lowmotor. Please welcome Lomotor to the Music Production Podcast. Josh, welcome aboard to the Music Production Podcast. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thanks very much. It's an honor to be here, really.
I've been loving your work, Lomotor. You seem to have a lot of kind of philosophical things in common with me, things that I'm interested in, the way I like to make music, the organic thing, kind of some of your philosophies, and love the videos you're doing, the jams, the outdoor adventures. It's really awesome and it's inspiring. I'm listening to your music and I'm excited to kind of, steal some inspiration and steal some of your ideas and repurpose them. And to me, that's my favorite thing I get out of music a lot of the time, or at least one of them, is that like feeling that makes me want to make music too. So yeah. I'm very excited to find your work and learn more about what you do.
Thanks. Those very kind words. I appreciate it. Yeah, with music, I mean, that's a lot right there. But music for me it's not worth doing if you're just copying something, which isn't to say that like you can't learn from, I listen to music analytically all the time. Like, well, how did they get that bass or how did they get that sound, just to make myself better? But I always try to put something that feels true to myself and my soul into the music. And sometimes that means sampling, from my world. I live out in the woods, so a lot of that's sampling nature sounds and tweaking them in Ableton. But sometimes it might just mean something kind of, just a little touch of something that's just a preset that I did myself. I would never want to just kind of cut and paste from Splice or something. Call it my song. Which I mean, people do that, and that's from some of that sounds great. For me, it's more fun. It's more fulfilling to do it, to put more of yourself into the music.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and something that comes up a lot on this podcast and just in now how I think about making music is the story behind it. Kind of like for instance, I could pull up on Amplitude, right? Guitar amp simulator. I could probably get like a really awesome sound that's like kind of exactly what I need because it has everything and they sound really good. But if I decide to, say, crank my amp and put a microphone in the bathroom or maybe in the washing machine that's hidden behind the curtain here, to me that's an interesting story. Like, ooh, let's see what that's going to do and how am I going to use this in the song? And I think it just makes for a better story for the listener than, I just pulled up a really cool preset on Amplitude or even I designed my own preset on Amplitude. But that kind of effort in the world of doing something kind of outrageous and to see what you get is very exciting. And it kind of shows you that you can, even if you're making stuff in a computer in the box, or even if it's very electronic, you can really get creative with just your environment and the things around you.
Yeah, definitely. And even if it's subtle, I think that that kind of thing is cumulative in tracks, right? So nobody's ever going to hear like, oh, that guitar was recorded, mic'd from a washing machine,
Yeah.
right? And it might sound, maybe
Except as an insult, maybe.
right.
Sounds like you recorded in a washing machine.
It sounds, yeah. Yeah, and it's not going to sound, it's not going to sound like Van Halen or something. If you want that perfect Van Halen tone, then you can dial up amplitude and there you go, right? But it gives you your music something unique. Yeah, more interesting, right? Even if it's just subtle like that, there's people can tell, your ear will know like there's a little something that's different about this. That's not just a preset.
I think it was a good word, cumulative, you just used, that it adds up. These little decisions that you do along the way, they might not be very noticeable. And sometimes it's not even a fader or a track that can account for it, but it comes through. It's an energy, something about when we record music. It picks up on your mood. It picks up on if you're having fun or not. I don't know. Again, you can't quantify these things, but it comes across in the listening.
Yeah, I agree.
I think maybe I'll just mention this now to kind of put ourselves on the hook. But we said right before we started recording, we'd put together some kind of sample pack or drum rack with some of your sounds, and I'll try to work some Ableton stuff, tricks in there to kind of do some sort of collaboration. But that'll be something people can download for free and use in their own music and kind of spread it out and maybe inspire some people.
Go to town. Use some trees and logs and leaves and make something fun.
Link in the show notes. So yeah, like, can you maybe tell me a little bit about? So you seem to be in like a rural area in I think you said in Massachusetts, right? How that you definitely incorporate that. All people need to do is go on your YouTube or your Instagram and just watch what you're doing. You're outside half the time. Your dogs are running around, and you've got your push standalone out there. It's a really cool way that you're pulling nature in, and maybe just tell us a little bit about the world you exist in.
Yeah, I live in Boxford, Massachusetts, which is north of Boston. And it's a rural town. I mean, it seems from some of the videos I make, I should say they're a little edited. It looks like I'm in, sometimes in the wilderness in northern Maine or something. And there are some wonderful isolated places near me that I love, but I'm not, I'm not like living in a cabin without any power out in the woods. But it is very wooded, and I moved here in 2011. Built this basement studio was kind of the first thing that I did. And then we have a barn and small farms and some mini horse, a horse, goats. And so I grew up in the woods too, in the Hudson Valley area. It's just always been part of my existence. And I think it's helped me find an identity as a musician. For a long time, I was kind of copying other people. And I played guitar for a long time in a band, kind of like what you've talked about, Brian, and that's always fun. This is kind of a whole side of my life and personality that I've been more incorporating into the music. To make it's a well that I can pull a lot from, and part of that is being in nature. Even if I'll bring my push standalone was kind of a game changer for me too. I've been waiting forever. Even when push 2 came out, I was like, it's not. You still have to plug it in somewhere. And finally, with the battery, I was very excited when that came out. So I would go out and record samples and then come back and mix them into songs and stuff. But now you can kind of do that all while out in nature with the dogs running around, and that's just wonderful. Yeah, and like you said before, it means I can take very specific parts of my world and turn it into my music, which I hope makes it sound different or unique or a little bit unlike something else you might hear.
I think it does. And I say this a lot in my Berkeley class. I teach Berkeley's Ableton Live sampling class online. And I love that class because I think it's a really great way to build your own identity musically, your sound, because one of the exercises we do is just recording your day. Just go through your day, find noises that come up, and then put some kind of composition to that. And everybody's day is a little bit different. And even a lot of them only get through breakfast because they're in the kitchen and like, I got, 2 gigs of sounds now. Like I got to just make something. But even the breakfast routine of everyone is unique, and the types of coffee machines they use, or pans or pots and bowls, and the room they're in, the acoustics, like everything comes out a little bit different with their own mark on it. And just even if it was the same person in the same room, how close do they put the microphone is going to make a little difference. So I love that route in trying to make music unique, because you're forced to in that way. You're going to get something unique no matter what. Whereas if you go and you pull up presets, and I do this too all the time, everyone does, you're getting the same preset as somebody else, or same sample or something. And not to say you can't do unique stuff with that. And I think it's probably best to, do some sort of combination of everything. But that's a real surefire way to be like, nobody has the sound of this tree and this rock making this beat, right?
That's right. This is the only kick drum that's going to sound like this tree.
Right. Yeah, it's a cool approach.
Which, I don't know if you want to talk about social media, because I kind of have a love-hate relationship with social media, but that was part of this driver with me. I should say, I feel like it's in one part tearing the fabric of society apart. On the other hand, I want my music to be heard by people, right? And for a long time, it just wasn't, And so, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I thought, well, I want to at least get it out in front of more ears, but I also want to be myself. Where's that intersection? So I'll make a conscientious plan to post more of what I'm doing, but make it be true to myself still. So, and this path of filming more in nature, making music in nature was my compromise. I kind of hate sometimes that I'll be out in a beautiful place and I think to myself like, oh, this will be good content if I, when I can't just, back on this.
Just take it in, soak it in.
Yeah. So I'll try to separate the two. I'll have a plan, a day, like I'm going to go film, and it's a filming day. And then I'll have another day of just going out without anything and just to enjoy it and, feed the soul that way. I do have a few of my special places in the woods that are sacred. I'm not going to film there. Those are just my secret spots. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So, that's a smart thing, because then when you go there, that part of you just sort of turns off, and you don't have to even wonder if you should be doing it or not.
Right.
Just, no, we don't do that here. This is different.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a weird time, right? Because we have this amazing power to reach everybody, pretty much everybody. Going back to like the first albums I ever released with bands, like you had to physically find a person and put it in their hands and hope they put that inside their music player and turned it on and all of that stuff. Luckily, at least I guess back then, not as many people were handing out tapes and CDs, so it was a little bit special. But
I remember going to Newbury Comics with a CD, with my box of CDs, and just handing them to the guy who worked there. Like, hey, can you stock, my CDs? Just literally in person, here. And I'm so excited when they're in the racks there. I'd go back
Yeah,
now and then and check. Oh, it's still
that's
there.
cool. Yeah, I guess we didn't sell any. Yeah, we did that with like the local record stores when we had them.
Yeah, right.
And we'd go in and they often had like a local band section or something and they put them in and then we'd like tell our fans, you could buy it at, Looney
Hmm.
Tunes, which is the local place around here.
Yeah,
And
we're real now.
yeah, we're the real deal. And like people go in, I saw it there. And then we'd go back and we'd see it there. I
Nobody
think
bought
like
it, but
one
it
or
was
two
there.
times they said, we sold your CDs. And we're like, what?
Yeah,
You
it's a big
sold all
day.
4 of them? This is amazing. We need more. Yeah, but I have a weird nostalgia for those times, but I mean, there is really something incredible about what we can do now with putting stuff out. So it is smart to take advantage of it. I guess you got to watch out for the numbers a little. If you put something out and then all of a sudden that thing gets a lot of hits, that can kind of color your next project. Like, well, I guess I better make something more like that again.
Hmm.
And yeah, I've found that every once in a while something like that happens, and I'm like, oh, that's what they want. But inevitably, it's like, well, I don't really want to keep doing only that.
Yeah,
But I think the more you do it, you start building this larger body of work. And I've found with a lot of artists I really like, and even content creators, which are artists obviously too. The ones I get into the most are more, they become the person behind it, and less so even the work. It's like just interesting what they do. I don't need you to do that one thing that pulled me in at first. I just kind of like what you do.
right. Yeah, I think that's why people come along for the ride for bands like Radiohead or
Hmm.
bands that have really changed or had an arc in their career.
Sure.
Right, people are there for it.
Yeah, we're just gonna check them out. They're gonna do something interesting.
Right.
And we probably all have our favorite Radiohead moments and phases, but when they come out with new stuff, it's always like, huh, now what?
Uh-huh. Yeah, and
And
you're
it's kind of fun that you get challenged a little too.
right.
Like, hey, we didn't do OK Computer again.
Right.
We're somewhere else. Check it out.
And it took a lot of people like years, right, to sort of come around to Kid A and that whole
Mm.
electronic, right? They lost a
Yeah,
lot of people and then kind of regained them over time.
yeah. That was a huge album for me, Kid A.
Yeah.
I loved OK Computer too. Kid A actually, I think, got me more into Radiohead
Hmm.
than I ever was. I was always liked them, but when I heard that record, I was like, oh man, this is crazy. And then went back and got deeper and deeper. I think maybe OK Computer is my favorite one
Yeah.
now, but Kid A was, when that came out, I was like, what am I even listening to? Like, I've never heard anything like this before.
I was one of
Really,
those
like,
people who was like, this isn't OK Computer. What is this? I hear like
yeah,
clarinets. And I didn't listen. I
yeah,
was like, I'm not gonna listen to that. And then I was one of those people who years later was like, oh, like this is great. Now Kid A is my
mm,
favorite. Took
mm.
a while to expand my musical mind.
Yeah, that's nice when that happens. That's good art. It should be a little bit of a challenge
A little push.
sometimes.
Yeah.
A little push. Yeah, see what you can do with this. Can you take this? It's like
Do you
Marty McFly in Back to the Future. You guys aren't ready for this, but the kids are going to love it.
uh-huh. When you run into that where you think to yourself like, oh, maybe I just need to make more of this thing that people seem to like, do you try it? Did you do that? And if so, do you kind of set parameters to still make whatever you're making, feel real and honoring yourself?
Yeah, I think over time, a lot of the most successful stuff is more in line with what I want to be doing anyway. Luckily, it kind of works out that way. Yeah, there's definitely been a few things when I look back, I can see like, oh yeah, I see what I was trying to do there. I was trying to like catch people or maybe even a little clickbaity at points. But I've never enjoyed that enough to want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I really, once I start looking at the numbers and stats, I don't even know how to make any sense of it, and there's just not enough time to care about it, too,
Yeah.
for me. And I guess, having a day job gives me that luxury where I don't have to worry about it too much. If I'm numbers go down on YouTube, and I don't make any money off YouTube anyway, but
Yeah.
the AdSense or the whatever thing they send you every once in a while when you cross the threshold, it's not really a noticeable dent in so I try not to really worry about it too much. Once in a while I'll look and see what was working, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the how to do it really.
Yeah. Me neither. I think you kind of have to.
I'm not interested enough, I guess.
Right. I think you have to like fully commit to being that kind of artist if you're going to do it, right? Like, I think you just have to be like, I'm going to be an internet artist, and just follow all these trends and learn all that part of it, the metrics. I think it's rare when someone's kind of just doing it with a day job, sort of half. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think you can. If you wanted that internet popularity, you have to fully, I think, do it and pay attention to it. And I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
People they get expectations too. I mean, this happens to me. I'll see something from somebody on YouTube or something. Oh, I love that. And then I look at the other stuff and it's not really that. Or
Yeah.
the next thing that comes out isn't what I thought it was going to be. And it's like, hey, you were the one that was talking about like philosophy of creativity, and now you're just reviewing a piece of gear. But then there's other people that I know that they do a great job reviewing the gear, and then they come out with something else. I'm like, but I just wanted to know how it worked.
I know. Yeah.
So I guess this is a long game thing for me. It's already been a pretty long game. I don't see any signs of stopping or desires to want to stop making art and music and sharing it. So, just doing it, just going for it, having fun. If I'm having a good time, I think someone out there might enjoy it too. And
I think that comes through. The same for the podcast, right? I think I listen to your podcast. You always sound truly interested in it. It's clear you like doing this, but I think that comes through.
Yeah,
same in music.
I really do. It's very interesting. I mean, here I'm talking to you right now, right? Like, and picking your brain about what you're doing, about music I'm inspired by. So, that's really exciting. And it's a great excuse to talk to people, right?
Yeah.
Just to connect. I mean, it'd be kind of weird if I listened to your album. I was like, hey, Josh, can I call you and just talk? Right? For no reason. Like, you'd be like, what? Who is this guy? But, in this context, it sort of gives it a reason to exist. So, yeah, I mean, it's just fun. And without having to really worry about funding it and sponsors, once in a while, if some sponsor comes along that I like and I'm into their stuff, I'm happy to do that. And if I can, I try to even now make it a little more of a fun project than just like, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about a new product. And so that becomes like, now I'm still being creative with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's other things that come through that I see and I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to put that out. And it might be the hot topic of the day, but that's not really what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that freedom. Definitely.
Did you have dreams of being a professional musician? Did you think you were going to be a rock star at some point?
Yeah, I thought I wanted that. That was like, probably from the minute you pick up a guitar, right? You're like, yes. But I mean, I love playing in bands and still do, and like playing shows a lot and do occasionally. I think I really learned this though in setting up some tours, like little 2-week deals down the East Coast where we'd play probably like 7 to 10 of those nights and then, drive to the next show in a car.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a great time. It was the guys hanging out and playing music. But by the end of that, I was like, okay, it's time to go home. I want to go home. I want to eat a regular meal and not just like junk that we're picking up on the road. And I want to sleep in a bed. And I had a cat. I want to see my cat. I want to have a relationship. All these things, like, I guess you don't realize that when you picture yourself on the big stage, hitting your chord, in front of a screaming audience, you see that, but you don't see like all the other stuff that goes into it. It's so much more than that. And
Right.
yeah, I'm a homebody kind of guy too. I like being home, and I just I liked it, but not enough to want to do it 50 weeks of the year.
Yeah.
That became clear to me.
Yeah. It seems like a hard life.
I think it is, and I mean, people love it. You have to love it, I think, to do it, really.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to do things to realize whether you like it or not. I mean, even playing guitar for me was that. I didn't know I was going to like playing guitar. I didn't know I was going to like doing this even. I didn't know I was going to like being an English teacher. But sometimes you just got to be in it and to really understand what else is around it. And then things clear up a little bit. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how things worked out musically. And I'm glad I don't have to be going on the road, because I enjoy it to a point. But the point to which I stop enjoying it is so much less than what's required.
Yeah. You've talked about it, I think, in the past, but I wonder too, like if your life was totally different, if I had no other obligations, not a day job or anything, would I be doing music as much as in my head I would be, like would all that extra time really mean I'd be making more songs? And it's hard to know, right? You don't know. That's an alternate life. But my guess is a lot of the times you'd waste a lot of that time. I have all this time. I can watch more TV or whatever.
Well, I get summer vacations, so I do get a little taste of that.
You get a real test every summer.
And I waste a lot of that time. I really do. I try to be productive, and I try to do something, but I'm not as productive as I think I'm going to be. Mm-hmm. I don't make 4 albums every summer.
Right.
Like in my head, I have the plan. Come June, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm going to, by the end of June, I'll have the first 2 out.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you'll have just sat out in the sun because it's nice out. And then you went to the beach and, those kinds of things.
Yeah,
the pressure of the time constraint when I'm at work makes me more productive.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think I work better if I know I have a half-day window, right? If I know I can. I always wake up super early myself just because I like that quiet, dark, alone time. But I know I have that, let's say, on a weekend morning, I have that till from 5 a.m. until maybe 11 or noon, depending on other obligations. You can schedule out that time. One of the things I always try to do is plan the night before what I'm going to do so that I can not sit there and just start like opening old song ideas and spend, an hour and a half just scrolling through live projects that you're never going to finish and doing maybe, an instrument or like a little tweak for each one and then move on to the next. Like you can go down that vortex and get lost forever. So I'll plan the night before, like tomorrow I'm going to do this step. I'm going to, find the bass line for that track and finish it or something like that. So that then when I wake up, I can quickly drink my espressos and start doing that right away. And you have a structure. And then, like you said, with the limitations, then like I've got this time, I've got to do it. Just do it. Don't look at your phone. Don't avoid distractions for that window. And if you only have that little window, it's easier to avoid distractions, right? If you have days, you kind of just get lost in that.
Yeah, I could do it later. Well, you know what? Let's go for a walk. Let's have a snack. Let's watch this video. Let's learn something. Learning is my my killer, my secret way that procrastination gets me all the time. Like I'll learn how to use this device, or I'll watch things I already know and just how are they using it? How are they using Saturator in Live? You know,
I have a rule for that for myself, where I will only learn from YouTube if I have my music computer open next to it. Like, so I've got, I'll be watching the video, but actually doing it myself.
doing it, yeah,
Instead
smart.
of being passive about it. Like, I mean, sometimes, I'll just watch that stuff while I'm doing the dishes or whatever, but like, I won't sit and just kind of watch stuff if I could be actually doing music. Like at that point, turn on the music computer and, do it. Just follow along. And that way, at least maybe you'll have something at the end of it that you can use to make a song.
Yeah, I think that's our big challenge these days is all these distractions, all these other things we can do, infinite choices. I give young people especially, that start into music or any kind of hobby these days, I give them a lot of credit, because part of how I got into playing guitar was boredom. I didn't have anything else to do. I already played the video game that I have to death, and it wasn't like I had access to every other video game that ever existed like we do now too. But I always kind of wonder to myself, like, would I have stuck through those hard times? Would I have dealt with my fingers hurting and not figuring out the chord and not being able to turn to YouTube to get the answer on how that Nirvana song went? All these things that you can do now. I don't know if I would have survived. I might have just went on Instagram or started watching something else, playing a game.
It's so easy to do something else now. Yeah. I wonder too. I wonder if people will be less creative or something because of that. It's just so easy to be entertained now by everything. I know I feel like we sound like grumpy old men talking about this, but it does seem like it's very different, right? Like you said, when you were kids, like you're very limited, and we had 4 VHS movies. So yeah, I watched Hooper with Burt Reynolds 100 times because that was one of them.
I see it in my students. Like I don't see as much creativity as I used to, and when I do, I'm like thrilled. Like, oh, good, yes. Oh, you paint, awesome. You draw, yay. Good. You need those things in your life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to look at it like with empathy to realize like I'm the same as them. We're humans. We're all the same exact DNA. We're not more or less evolved. You throw a baby born today into, the year 12 and no one would know the difference. Right? So I try to remember I'd probably be exactly like them. And I don't know if I would have overcome that. Not sure.
Probably would have played less guitar.
Yeah, it might have been like, this is hard.
Yeah.
But I'm going to play like this game I found on my phone.
Right. Yeah, I think I would have been the same way. I think it's very rare to be that driven, especially as a child, right? Where you can block out distractions. And nowadays it's just so easy. It's all on your phone, right? It's all right there.
I hope AI will fix that for us in
in
the way AI is polluting social media and YouTube, and there's just so much content.
You mean it'll make it so bad?
It'll be like, I don't even want to look at this. I mean, I get that a lot. I can't even look at Facebook anymore because everything every video is AI, and half of them are people that think they're real, and it's just like there's no point in being here anymore. So that's good. I like that. But maybe like, and to get back to like your music, I think this might be a drive to go out and do something real, record like the sounds around you, walk in the snow and turn that into music, and bang on this log and get your hands on things. I hope that happens a lot. I think it's part of I mean, I've always been drawn to this, but I think I'm more so interested in it now because it's so much more of a statement now, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Some of my early recordings where I was banging on garbage cans to make percussion was because I didn't have percussion. So I didn't have a set of congas and all this stuff to play around with. Now when you do it, you're doing it knowing like, yeah, I could just get that loop off Splice. I have a preset inside of Logic or Ableton, but I'm deciding to go against that and go through the effort of this. So it's more, it feels more deliberate and more of an artistic stance, and I like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's every, I don't know what you call AI and social media. Every big social entity like that has a backlash or its opposite, right? And there's some people I think who are going to always, I don't know, maybe people might love all those AI videos, but right, I think there's art is sometimes reacting to what's happening in society as a response, right? As a pushback against stuff like that. That's certainly the way I think about it. You know, like you said, like to go out into the woods and do something different, try to make it real. I've messed around with AI videos, and they're still up on my Instagram. A couple of them. I kind of try to make it obvious that it was AI, but I still would get comments like, "This is just slop."
Yeah.
So I've stopped. I just thought, well, yeah, and maybe I'm stealing from, all the artists that AI company swept, through.
Right.
Every artist in the history of humanity. Maybe I'm stealing from them a little bit by making this video of people dancing in a field. But I also realized like people, some of those videos they got negativity and didn't seem that interesting to be like, so less likes. And I think people are instinctually interested more in something that's real and human. And maybe AI will get to the point where we can't tell the difference, which is kind of a terrifying thought.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah, but I still think it'll be a while before like it will be so good at replicating humans that people won't be able to tell. I think we'll always have that imperfections that make us human. Partly why in my music I'll try to not be too precious about it. Right? It's especially with electronic music, right? It's really easy to put everything on the grid and a lot of times I'll put a kick on the grid and keep it there. Have something that's very regular, but then maybe play some percussion, some leads or something myself, which is not going to be. I'm not a good percussionist.
You're not a good leaf player.
I'm not a good leaf player. So it's not going to be on
I
the
bet
beat
you're one of the more capable ones out there, actually. Probably more experienced than most.
But that then people will hear that, and even if it's subconscious, like something will tick. Like, yeah, that's interesting. Maybe more interesting than something that's totally AI produced.
Yeah, I have through this app I use for the podcast, Riverside. They do some kind of AI where it'll make clips for you. It'll kind of figure out what the good trending clips will be.
Yeah,
which is funny sometimes how it figures that out. But it has an AI B-roll thing that you can have it automatically insert it. So we might be talking about like recording and how it's like this magical thing, and then like a magician will pop up. So it doesn't always understand the context or the metaphors you're making.
Yeah, and
I was having fun with that, like how it would sort of mischaracterize it. This song is like a stew of all different things. It shows like a chef, like yes, and the chef has like 7 fingers, and
of course,
the dog with like that's floating in the sky, kind of in the background. So these like artifacts would come up, and I found those amusing. But I did see comments like, "This is obviously AI. Look at the way that spatula is, and why is he even there?"
That's the one thing
But
about the internet, right? Like, it doesn't matter how obvious you're trying to make it seem that you are aware that you're making fun of this thing. People are going to take it seriously, right? Like, there's always going to be somebody who's pointing out the thing that's very obvious.
it's not as bad as it used to be either, which just sort of disappoints me. It's way better at it now. When they first came out with it, it was funny. Like the bass guitar would just suddenly disappear into like a microphone. Like it didn't make any sense. But now it's so much better at it that you almost can't even. It's like I'm longing for the lower quality, almost like I'm longing for like a cassette tape 4-track sound. Like I kind of wish, but it didn't last long enough. It wasn't garbage.
Yeah, that was only like 6 months.
Yeah, right.
It's already moving on.
Those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask you a kind of specific question about when you go out and you're doing your sampling and then you're working with Push. How do you record those samples? Are you using the inputs on Push, the mic inputs, the line inputs? Are you using a different sampler or export? Like, what's that look like?
It's just a microphone or my phone, and I'll put that in later. But yeah, just a microphone, SM57 that I plug directly in.
Just plugged right in.
Real simple.
Nice.
Try to keep everything portable, right, and fit so that it can fit in a backpack.
Right. I had I'd found I had an SM57 I was plugging in, and I was getting some weird interference.
Yeah.
With Push when I was doing it, so I kind of abandoned that. But I just got this new. It's like an audio interface actually, but it connects right to the mic, and it's only about 2 or 3 inches long. And then you plug the cord into it. It's actually a USB-C cord, so it goes in like that. And that works great because it picks it up like an interface, and then no interference. And it's so portable too. It's only adding just makes the SM57 a little bit longer.
Yeah. Do you get wind issues or anything, or can that clean it up too? Or do you have a?
No, it's the same. Wind is always because that's just hitting the mic. It just picks it up cleaner or something. But yeah, it's kind of got to worry about. I haven't taken it outside yet though. But it's the same reaction. It feels like a mic normally does. Yeah.
Sometimes most of my samples I'll just record on my phone, and I'll put that to the side, and just hit record on voice notes to get the ambience right and then sometimes it'll just do start playing instruments in Push, and then put the ambience in. I'm hearing it even though I have headphones on. I'll hear I'm still experiencing being in nature. So, but I'm also recording that separately and can put that in later on. It's rare though where I'll usually at that point I'll try to chop up. I'll try to always do something to a nature sample. It's rare where it's just like just the birds in the background kind of going without editing or something. So a lot of times I'll chop it up into a rhythm, or I'll what is it? Is it the shaper tool, the audio shaper? Sometimes you run a drum beat on a track and silence it, and mute that track, but have the beats trigger the sounds that are in the sample, right? So it might be some birds and stuff, but it's hitting on the drum beats only. So
you do that with like a gate or an envelope follower or something like that?
Yeah, so an envelope follower, right? So it's usually the auto filter, sometimes a gate, but I like the auto filter is just a little smoother.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. And other times it'll just be a couple auto filters, right? Or a few gates. And now with Ableton 12, it's Live 12, I love the LFO settings. There's so many options, right? Where you can do, I think it's the glide tool. I don't know if you just use that. Wander, right? Yeah. So if you get a couple of those in a sequence, triggering multiple auto filters or multiple gates or mix and match, or sometimes like a reverb, like if it's triggering reverb real wet, but just for just for a moment, you get all sorts of interesting sounds. And then almost always I'll take that and at least try to see what it sounds like reversed. I feel like I reverse everything just to say like, how does this work? Sometimes it's great.
Yeah. The verse is so cool. And
Yeah.
I appreciate it because the first time I ever did reverse sounds was on 4-tracks and flipping the tape over and, which didn't seem like much of a hassle at the time because, wow, we could do that. But now that you can just, highlight it and hit R.
Hit R, yeah.
And then it just reverses it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you transferring the stuff from your voice memos to push through Ableton Live, or do you plug it maybe into like the USB or the inputs or something on push to sample it?
So usually I'll do that back here in my studio. Mm-hmm. So I'll if I come up with a track I like in the push, save it, get back to the studio, put it in my computer, and then I will sample. Then I'll take my phone and record that just through my interface back into so I have that recording in live. I don't know if there's a faster way to import from live from voice notes. That's just the way I do it.
Hey, I'm trying to think if I haven't tried it. Sampling directly from the phone into push, but I guess if you had a cable that went into the inputs, or maybe even the USB C, you might, or regular USB, you might be able to do that.
You could, right? You just need a converter, right? Yeah.
Just be out there doing it. But I think it's cool that you use your phone a lot. I've been telling people more and more like, yo, your phone is a great field recorder.
Yeah.
I used to say it in my Berkeley class as like, hey, the phone has a lousy mic. It's not great, but at least you have a mic and you can record it. And sometimes that lousy sound has character and it works. But now, like, man, the iPhone mics these days are so good. I just watched a video of a guy, I think he's Sugar Pill Productions on YouTube. Gotta double check that. He's like a songwriting, indie guitar rock guy I like a lot. But he had a Neumann and a iPhone next to each other, and he was side by side and switching between them while he was singing the song. And like, I couldn't tell. I didn't know what was what. I admit, in the context of the song, like, they both sounded good.
People can be so precious about that kind of stuff. At least for me, it's I mess with the sound so much anyway. The source doesn't have to be pristine, Most of the time I'm cutting out all the low end anyway just to get rid of wind sounds. Mm-hmm. I do think, so I agree. I think the iPhone is all you need, really. The only time I've noticed where it's not as good as like a Zoom handheld recorder that I'll use sometimes for bassier sounds.
Okay.
So if it's low end that you're trying to capture, I still use something a little bit better than the iPhone. But otherwise, leads, sticks, you can just use the iPhone.
Like if you're doing a kick drum from a log or an old tree.
Right.
You got the Zoom.
A little more high fidelity with the Zoom.
Yeah. I don't remember if you told that to me or I saw it in a video talking about like stumps and logs or good kick drums. But we had a tree fall down in my backyard during the blizzard of 26, and it's still sitting there. And I saw that. I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I've got a whole like orchestra laying in my ground. I was just mostly bummed because I had a bat box on that tree and it got totally smashed. I never got bats in it, but I was really excited to get bats to eat the mosquitoes and stuff.
I wonder how many bats really go into bat boxes. I've never seen a bat in a bat box. We had one up for years.
Yeah. It never went in.
No.
They have them in some of the parks in the wooded areas around here. And I think they do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it'd be great. We have some bats you'll see at dusk in the summer. So I was like, hey guys, why don't you just live here?
Yeah, that's the same with me.
I'll have to turn that into some kind of orchestra. so start recording it.
Yeah. It's you'd be interested to, they're very different tones depending on the age of the old log too.
Mm-hmm.
It's sometimes if they're wet too, like if it's been raining and you find like a good crumbly old big tree that's like kind of falling apart but still got some body, and you hit that with another big log. It's a good kick drum sound.
That's awesome.
And then the newer ones are a little more resonant, right? Like you're gonna get a higher dunk kind of sound that's not as kick drummy. But,
those are your toms or something.
right. Yeah. I'll pitch down. I mean, a lot of times I'll do that and then pitch down the samples if you want to get something lower. Add some saturation, pitch it down.
Yeah. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna make use of that tree.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a loss. It's kind of the beautiful thing too. When you record something or sample something, like you are sort of taking a sonic photograph of it and making it last. I mean, I always get a big kick out of some of the packs I make, and they go around and make it into people's music. And the one that really made me understand it was the piano I have in my house. It's over 100 years old. I got it from the Salvation Army. I don't know, probably 20 years ago now. And when I first got it, I was like, man, this piano, look at it. It's had a life. Somebody played this thing. You could just tell, like, the way the keys are worn. And it's like, what does this piano know? What did it do?
Yeah.
And now, after sampling it and putting it out there, it's like, and it goes on. The story continues. And every once in a while, someone will send me something they made. It's got the piano, and I'm just like, wow, how cool is it? Whoever put that piano together, like, if they'd only known.
It's extended life. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool how you can give something life like that, like an old dead tree. And it's going to eventually fertilize the ground, but now it's taking on this whole other direction. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I've been very interested in kind of offbeat microphones lately, because I did make a pretty substantial mic purchase last year. I got a Warm Audio. I don't even remember. It's like a Telefunken kind of remodel. I love it. It's tube. It sounds amazing. It's definitely like the nicest mic I have.
Yeah.
And, got a couple others that are pretty nice, C414. And, but I feel like I got that covered now. Like, yeah, like recordings sound good enough. Like, I don't know. So now, like, all these like little oddball things. Let me grab one real quick. I just want to show you. Got it right here. This one is a soda can microphone. So
how old is that soda can too? It looks like
it's from the 70s, I think.
Yeah,
it is. 200 years. Oh, it's the bicentennial. That's what that is. The
That's
bicentennial.
Great.
So it's a 50-year-old soda can now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this guy Darwin Audio makes these, and you can get all kinds of stuff. And it sounds like a soda can. It sounds like inside a soda can. It's like when you hear it, you'll just know.
Have you used it on any recordings?
Yeah, on just like a couple guitar recordings, playing around. I made a little, kind of like a promo for the podcast. I called it a dedication because, speaking of the blizzard of 26, I ordered one and it got lost in the mail. It was supposed to be delivered that day. We got 2 feet of snow. It never came. I went through the post office, and they were like, somebody picked it up. And we didn't pick it up.
I wonder if it was just buried in snow somewhere.
Yes, something. It was marked as picked up, that somebody came and got it.
Okay.
But the time was weird. It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But the best they were able to tell me is to see if I could get a refund. So I wrote him, and I was like, I don't expect you to refund me, but maybe you have insurance or something. And he's like, look, I'll just send you a new one. And he sent it to me. And so I made like a little kind of promo ad kind of thing for him to put on the beginning of the podcast. But I love it. It's like you want something like a little weird with character. That's great. And I just got this other one too. It's a telephone mic.
I've seen
So
those. Yeah.
Trash Talk Audio, they make this. And turns out they're on Long Island too.
Huh.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
It's really nicely built. I made one myself out of a telephone just by soldering a cable into it, which I don't know how to solder, but I was able to do those 2 soldering marks with the
Right.
little wires. But they sound awesome. And they sound very different from each other too. Teenage Engineering has this one called Ting that they've got this like little sampling. I forget what it's called now. Like they called it like the Knockout or something. I never used it, but it's like a little sampler.
Yeah.
And they did like this kind of like reggae inspired one. And it came with this microphone. It's like this little handhold thing that has built-in effects, and you got to squeeze the button like on a CB radio or something. Yeah,
That's fun.
but it sounds awesome. It's low fidelity, but
Right.
man, character galore. And
Yeah.
it's like you don't even have to process these things because they're sort of pre-processed and they have a
Right.
character, and you just leave them alone. Maybe put
Yeah.
a little delay or reverb, and you're good to go.
Do you sing as part of your band? And do you play
Yeah.
live? Like, would you ever use any of those in a live show?
I've been thinking about this telephone one.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering about feedback because it is in that kind of brittle frequency range. I was using it the other night, kind of in my live performance setup, and I was just going through my monitors, and it was feeding back a little bit
Yeah.
compared to my other mic. But I could imagine a situation maybe where I have it like next to the regular mic, and maybe
Right.
like on a verse I sing into the telephone, and then on the chorus go into the. It could be kind of fun.
That'd be fun.
Or even with this one, you could sort of just hold it up to your head and be like singing like that, and maybe it's part of like the show of it.
Yeah, right.
Get on the phone, like
You need
play
a
guitar.
song that's like a conversation now between people, and you can
Yeah,
switch
I'll
personas.
have to get another one.
Right.
Background vocals coming in.
Does anybody else in the band sing? You could
Yeah,
sing
yeah, we
to
all
each
do,
other
so.
through the phones. Yeah.
Right. That's a fun idea.
And do you think
these things they got character, they got personality?
do you think you could achieve a similar sound in Ableton?
Yes. Yeah, pretty darn close.
Yeah.
And I've made racks for myself that are like telephone effects, where it's the EQ. You're basically just taking out all the highs and lows.
Yeah.
Maybe put a little compression, distortion a little, but and yeah, you're probably like 97% of the way there.
Right.
But I tell you, when you like talk into these phones, I don't know if it's because, growing up talking to people on the phone, it has that intimacy of like you're listening to somebody, they're right in your ear and their mouth is that far from the speaker, and you're talking about life late at night.
Yeah.
It's got that sound that I don't think is the same when you do it with effects.
Right.
And I don't know what that is exactly, but
I think probably just holding it too might change your performance, right? Like just the interaction with the thing or with the soda can is, it's different than you singing into a regular mic and then processing it in Ableton. Like you yourself might, in that delivery, might do something a little different.
Yeah. I was playing my push the other night and I had the phone like in my shoulder, like how we used to have to do that. Like when you were talking on the phone, you held it between your ear and your shoulder. But that was really fun. I was like, this is great. I'm singing and like.
Did you ever? You're married,
like 5
right?
minutes, I was like, oh man, my neck. Yeah, I'm married. Yeah.
So does your wife ever come in? I don't want to get too personal if you don't want to talk about, but like, does she ever come in
like,
with
what the hell
something
are
like
you
that?
doing?
Yeah, like what's going on?
Yes, she does. She's pretty used to it though. She'll like, okay, or why are you recording that? Now she's more like, you should record that.
Well, that's good.
But,
she's on the team.
Yeah, there have been a few times where she's like, "What?" The worst, most puzzling thing I ever did for her was just I was recording guitar feedback for our band's album, and I had my friend's orange. It's like a practice amp, orange amplifier, but it had just a great feedback when you cranked it up all the way. So I had it all the way up, and I was just moving my guitar around the amp, making all these noises and just sampling them all. I made a sample pack of that guitar feedback and turned them into instruments, which are surprisingly gentle, actually, when you start putting them in samplers. Because,
Mhm.
it's like a screeching feedback, but when you put it in there, it's like all soft and
Yeah.
mellow.
I bet you could get some good pads from it.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good for that, actually. I thought it would be tearing through the speakers, but no, it's interesting how it just like tames it. But that day she came down, she's like, "Oh, what are you doing? What is this?" Like, I think she was also just worried if I was okay. Like, am I
You're
on
just you're
fire?
just
Like
lying
passed out on the
there.
floor? Yeah. Like, what's happening down here?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I can understand that day. Like,
Yeah, I did something
the
similar as this old box AC30. I got it because of OK Computer. Like
oh
free,
yeah,
it's what they use. It's one of, I think it's what they use when they're recording. I was like, I love that amp. But I have a big,
Beatles. That thing has a
right.
history.
We have a double height living room. So I can stand in this room and put the amp all the way up in that other room and have long cables that go to it and record.
Cool.
But it's, just like the neighbors can hear it, and I'm out in the woods, right? Like it's loud. And I remember my mom was visiting. They were out for the day, but my mom was visiting. She came to this little window I have in the basement and just was like banging on the window, like, we can't come into the house. Like, you got to stop.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah. We can't come in. That's funny.
yeah.
I'm pretty lucky right now where I am with my neighbors. I don't think they hear too much of what I do. Being in the basement and a little bit of space.
Yeah.
But where I used to live, I got visited from, I think, every neighbor on every side of me at one point or another. Mostly being a little obnoxious too late at night.
Uh-huh.
Well, it always starts out like it's 2 in the morning with your friends and your buddies. You're coming home. You're like, we'll play real quiet. And you do for like 2.5 minutes, but then
Somebody turns
next
up a
thing you
little
know, we're crashing on the cymbals and turning on the overdrive pedals. And
bit. Yeah.
so, yeah, my neighbor's probably glad I don't live there anymore. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do I pronounce the name of the new record? That was something I wanted to ask you.
That's a good question. ABCAPSILAHAD.
ABCAPSILAHAD. Okay.
Yeah. ABCAPSILAHAD.
That's coming out June 6th, just so people know.
Thank you. Yeah. It's
But
that
what
name.
is that?
It's a good question. I don't know exactly. It came to me in a dream years ago, and I kind of half woke up and wrote it down on a bookmark that I had next to the bed. And then I just kind of sat there and I forgot about it. And I was just thinking about, I think it's at that point I thought, well, maybe I'll use it for something. I don't know what it means or whatever, but I'll use it. And this album is, it's a collection of tracks that kind of mix my nature and where I am now, but I also grew up in nature, and it mixes the memories that I have being a child in running through the woods with the dogs, or finding like an old beat up car in the woods. Just kind of that. I had a lot of freedom as a kid, so that freedom with my brother and friends, we just go explore and probably hurt ourselves doing something, but it was just so much adventure. And so I try to capture that feeling in these tracks. And it's all nature is a theme through all that, right? So there's a lot of nature in it. But to me, that word, ABCAPSILAHAD, is this imaginary land that is maybe stemming from my childhood memories that have kind of turned into obviously no childhood is ideal, but you have that ideal in your head. So it's a mix of that feeling and now and sort of my life now with nature.
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
I have old home videos too of of see I've actually got there's the VHS and some of the old home
Cool.
videos. And my
I
dad,
got a VHS down here too.
I know I've heard you talk about it. Yeah. My dad in 1980 he recorded just sort of everyday like conversations around the house. And I have that cassette tape. It's two full sides. So I kind of used bits and pieces of my childhood throughout the songs. So
Nice.
you'll hear them kind of come in and out. It's pretty subtle, or it'll just be like what I was talking about, some kind of rhythmic thing that's actually the voice of my dad cut up, or that conversation that's chopped up, mixed with some bird sounds or something that's also chopped up. But all that is, using synths too. Like I wanted to make it musical, and I love electronic music, like electronica, especially like Aphex Twin and Boards of Canada. And Boards of Canada are kind of my North Star. And they've always, that type of music, that kind of older synth music also has a nostalgia to me. So somehow I don't know how cohesive it is, but somehow that combination of synths, nature and bits and pieces from my childhood are what the album is.
Yeah, I get that actually a lot listening to it. It does sound almost like memories, kind of the way they exist in your mind, all jarbled together, kind
Yeah.
of. And
Well, it's good to hear.
interacting.
Yeah, I don't know how if that comes across to people or not. So I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Why is there a song called 1980 was a long time ago? Why are you calling out 1980?
That's from specifically one of those recordings.
It was 1980.
Yeah, I have the tape over there. Actually, you have it over here. Oh,
All right, that's the year I was born, and I'm
okay.
like, oh no. I felt called out for being old or something.
Yeah, I just knocked over this is a beaver chewed log that I use for percussion. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Beaver.
Yeah,
I mean, cool animal.
No, so I'm not trying to it's my mom in that cassette recording actually says that that was a long time ago.
Okay, that's so cool.
You'll hear her say it kind of in the background, and it was recorded in 1980. And now not trying to call out anybody for being old. I was born in 78, so my birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thanks.
Very cool.
Do you ever feel I have to get over that the concern of sounding like old music or whatever? The music I make is the music I make. My thought is like, this is not for the youth of America or the world. Whoever likes it will like it. Probably not going to be a 19-year-old, but I can't concern myself with that, right?
I don't think so. And I guess a lot of the music I was making when I was 19 wasn't for 19-year-olds at the time anyway.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel old, really. I still feel kind of like a kid that's fooling everybody.
Me too.
They think I'm a professional. They think I'm, I get invited to meetings at work and I still kind of feel like,
they're gonna call me out. Like they're gonna notice. I don't belong here.
When are they gonna realize that I've been like fooling everyone? The imposter syndrome thing, I guess, right? Like,
do you think you'll be like that always? Like, do you think you'll be 80 and still feel like a kid?
Well, yeah, I think we all are. I think that's the real thing about it is we're all really just winging it. We're adults. Well, like we don't know what we're doing. We're trying our best. We might have learned from some experience and taken in what other people have said. But I mean, when you really get down to it, we don't know. And I think maybe that's part of why when you're a teenager, you might resent your parents and authority because you start to realize, like, hey, like, you guys don't have your lives figured out. You're telling me what to do with mine. And that has changed more to, I guess, empathy now, where I'm like, oh, yeah, they didn't know what they were trying, but they didn't know. Like, I can't blame them because I don't know. I mean, being a teacher, I think, has really made me see that, because sometimes that really weighs me down. I mean, I've sat like in bed at night and been like, oh my God, like, especially if I don't know what I'm teaching the next day, if really, or it's not working out.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, like, I don't know, what am I doing? Like, these parents are giving me their kids 40 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and little do they know, like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like,
Right.
you start thinking that way, and you go down these like spirals, and I've had to find ways of dealing with that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I don't know. I don't think we know as much as we pretend we do, or as much as people think we do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find comfort in that nowadays more than anything. There is a weird comfort in that like, we don't know. We're trying, but
Yeah, I think it's, if you can come to terms with that and just embrace it, accept it,
yeah.
then you don't have to stress about it. Like, there is no point in worrying about, like, oh, am I mature enough? Like, you are who you are. Don't be nervous. And to your point, I think probably most of those other people in the room that you're with feel similar to the way you do, right? They might be thinking you have your life put together much more than they do.
Right.
Yeah,
we have these like spirit days at school, and there's one day we had like rock music day, and I brought my guitar in and had like a wig on, and I was like, little do you guys know, this is like actually me in my natural state.
right.
Today is the only day I'm not dressing up. It's the day I finally feel like myself.
And you have your telephone
costume,
in one shoulder and the soda can in the other.
yeah, like this is who I am. So I'm not that serious of a person.
I think, but that kind of stuff is so important for creativity, right? Just to have that freedom. I don't know if it's to Picasso.
Play.
Yeah, to play, exactly. Like some famous, it might have been Picasso, was like, loved watching kindergartners paint, right? Because there's no presupposed ideas of what art should be, right? They're just totally making it for the sake of making it, without like, they haven't learned how to make a hand the right way or whatever, or draw an eye, right? Like, it's just, I think I actually have sort of, you see some things throughout the room. I've intentionally left toys from my childhood. I've kind of scattered around. I have some Star Wars figures hanging from the ceiling and stuff, just to keep that childish mentality in, here. Like, when I'm making music, I want to just be that free to make whatever you want. There's always a time and place to curate it later on and mix and master and all that stuff. But be a child, be free when you're in that first creative process.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I got some toys scattered around and little knickknacks that are just for no other reason than just like exactly what you said. It is pretty interesting how kids will just jump in on things. They'll just do it. They're not thinking if they're good at it or bad at it. But something does happen along the way. I'm teaching 8th grade this year for the first time. I've always done high school. And I see it even in them. Like,
it's a little freer.
They're a little more free. And like if we're going to draw something in class, like, okay, yay. And even just 9th grade, they're like, I'm not good at drawing, or I don't know how to draw. I can only do stick figures. And like all these things they've somehow now put in their identity. Yeah. That it's sad, the other kids, and the 8th graders I'm watching change. Like, it's like they're different than they were in September. They first of all, they're cool now. Like, I'm cool. I don't care about anything anymore. Watch them, like, they have recess and they go play outside. And in the beginning of the year, it's just like kids running around, chasing balls, doing cartwheels and backflips. And like, you're like, look at these crazy kids. And now, like, they're back outside again. It's a little warmer. And there's a lot more standing around in groups. Yeah. Like huddling around. Everybody's at a distance.
Worried about what the others are doing, thinking about them.
Yeah, and I'm like, no. Yeah. It got away,
Yeah.
Oh, you let it get away. Or it's squeezed out of you or something.
Yeah. But I think
But
becoming a creative adult is learning to really embrace that freedom, right? To forget about that
yeah.
concern about, oh, what are the cool kids thinking, over in that corner about what this like, silly music I'm making. Like, just, I think this faster people can get over that concern about what others think or their own insecurities, the more fun you'll have making something.
Yeah, I think so. I think that is almost the entire trick of it. I th- I don't think I ever left that so
Good for
much, you
you.
know.
I
Yeah,
think me
like
too. I was just secretive about it.
yeah, like my friends growing up, we always embraced being silly and a little weird, and
Uh-huh.
we laughed at it, and got a kick out of just that in itself. And we were always drawing, and then we were getting into music, so we kind of kept a creative thing going.
Yeah.
And I guess because of that, we got a little bit better than maybe our average peer, and maybe that helped us get through that a little.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always tried to keep that and enjoy that, even like being around like little kids and not being afraid to just play whatever they're doing on the rug, and being around even the high school kids, even though they are really concerned about all that stuff, they still
Yeah.
have a freshness to them, or at least some of them, and that helps.
Yeah.
But I think you really do. You got to not worry about it. As soon as I start worrying about that stuff, I always kind of run out of steam. If I start thinking I
It
need
frees up real quick.
clever progression or an interesting whatever, I need to impress fellow producers or, show that I know music theory a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
All these things. And half of the music that I love is so simple. Most of it is. It's like really basic. Just a few twists here and there maybe, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I I find that's the worst thing that happens to me is when I'm thinking about it and wondering if it's good or if people will like it or if I like it even. I like working real fast for that reason, so I don't have time to think about that.
Oh yeah, me too. Fast is don't worry about, don't judge the decisions, right? Just go. Like, just keep that momentum. And then
Go
especially
and react.
if you're
To do it, react to it.
If you're feeling like you like it, then just keep ride that wave for as long as it lasts. I'll try to maintain that. If you have one idea and it springs to another and then branches out to a couple more, try to do all of those trails as quickly as you can, because it dries up, right? Like, it definitely, if you think like, oh, I'll stop now and come back tomorrow or something, it's so hard to get right back into that rhythm. It's much better just
you're
to
never the same. You're not the same person. The atmosphere is different. Something happened in the news, or it is very hard to get back to that.
It's better to put it all out. Don't worry about what it is that day. Just get everything. It's like the opposite of Michelangelo, right? Like, make the rock as big, make a huge boulder of stuff, right? You can always go back then the next week and start to carve away that boulder that you've made, and then you find the sculpture within. But try to put it all out there first, and mute tracks at that point. Later on, then you can sort of go, well, do we really need these 15 extra synth lines, or where's the core of this? Maybe I can get rid of all this stuff. But that part for me is the part that takes forever, right? Like, I like this part, but I like this part too, but they clash. Which one do I pick? That'll take months sometimes.
It's tough because you put the time into all of it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
They're all your babies.
Right.
They're all like kind of precious and special, and but we need to have that little thing. But
that's where you wish you had some other ears to pick. Which one? Tell me which one to pick.
That's one nice thing about collaborating, working with other people, and in the band, it can just be like, no, don't do that. Just do this, or do this instead, and like, okay.
But sometimes you're like, okay, but I really like that part. or something that just happened to me recently with my daughter, who's just about to turn 11, and no, I'm sorry, 11. She's just about to turn 10. She's acting like a 14-year-old, but no, she's 9 for the next month. She, when she was in kindergarten, she had a friend on the bus, and they were started writing songs just out of the blue. They would write down in their notebooks, and they would memorize the melodies. They had like 15 songs just that they just would create on the bus. And I didn't want to put any pressure on them or like, be a musical parent, right? I just kind of offered my services. Like, I could record and put it out there in the world. They didn't even know what Spotify was. Right? They were like, we want it on the internet. I was like, I can do that. So we recorded it down here, and I think a few times I tried to be like, sure you want to like, you want that part to be on, to a rhythm or something? They're like, no. The response, anything I suggested was like, definitely not. So it's totally their thing. Funny. It's just them singing. Producer. Yeah, but I was totally. I did some producer things. I realized that like I'm getting sidetracked, but I did at one point. Like, this is a little later. They've done a couple songs now, but their energy level was low, and I was like, sing more, and they weren't doing it. So I was like, okay, you two, like, I'm gonna leave the room, scream as loud as you can for 30 seconds, and jump all around. And they're like, yes, and like, they did that and came back and recorded their song, and it was like their energy level was much higher, and it sounded good. But my point for the story was, over a couple of days, my daughter kind of brought up, she's like, that old song we did in kindergarten? I don't know if I like that one. And I was like, oh, I think it's fine. You were in kindergarten. Then she brought it up again. And it turned out she was getting into bed, and she's like, some girl had made fun of her song and heard it and made fun of them for singing it. And she was all kind of torn up about it. So we had this long talk about creativity, what you and I were talking about, where my point was like, even Taylor Swift or K-pop, Demon Hunters, like millions of people in the world love them and millions of people will hate them. It doesn't matter. You had this whole good talk about creativity and you can't worry about what other people think. She was like, do people ever make fun of your music? And I was like, yes, they do. And this is a topic I can absolutely talk about. I can help you with this one. It was a rare occasion, I feel like, as a parent where I could actually be helpful. She was at the end. She was like, "Thank you." Like, it was, but it's not. I'm hoping that she gets over that, right? Yeah, and I think it did actually help. Yeah, I'm hoping that she can kind of just brush that off. You're gonna have to learn to brush, criticism off anyway, right? So,
I mean, that's really cool. They got into that, and then I could imagine you're probably like, oh boy, like, come on in, and then.
Right. You want me to reverse your voices? No.
Yeah. You want, hey, let me show you something cool. But to let them just kind of have at it and do it. But yeah, that's kids too. Like they're ruthless, and
they are.
It's like so natural for us to want to fit in. Like our ancestors that didn't fit in, well, we don't have those ancestors. They didn't have children. They didn't survive and pass on their DNA. So we are descendant of people who were accepted, and that's a big reason humans have been able to survive in nature, is because we had each other. So it's a real pull
to fit in.
To be able to help her through that. To get to the bottom of it too, that it was like, somebody said something, and like, if she takes it down or deletes it or whatever, you've just empowered her. You've given her too much. Now she controlled you, and that's so much you see it with kids. Like, they're like, watch this, and like, watch what power I have over this other kid's feelings. I'm gonna go be mean to them, and like, yay, look at me, I'm empowered.
You must see that a lot.
But yeah, you kind of see it. I mean, they tease each other a lot. It's funny and then they're best friends though too. It's like my best friend poured chocolate milk in my backpack. It's like, I think that's how we express. We're constantly trying to figure out our rank on the totem pole.
Yeah.
And it's always changing. But I've kind of just been saying, I'm like, that's your friend. You picked him. Like, that's what you guys do. And You wish you could just like put that in their heads, like knowing what you know now, of course, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, the kids that nobody bothers are the kids that nobody can affect.
Right.
I mean, I had that growing up. Like, it was really like my last name, Funk. Like, there's a lot of fun ways to twist that around and make a kid's life miserable. And I was a pitcher, and I I just threw the ball as hard as I could and was able to do pretty well in Little League, right? And the first time I ever heard like "We Want the Funk" or "Play That Funky Music" was from the other team singing it at me to frazzle me.
Huh.
Like that's when I first heard those songs.
It's
You
funny.
know, kids singing at me aggressively, you know, taunting me,
Huh.
and it would really drive me crazy.
Huh.
And I couldn't throw a strike anymore. I'd be mad and like fuming and
Yeah.
kicking the dirt. But like one day I was just like, I'm not going to care about that anymore. I just, for whatever reason, decided I'm not going to care. It's my name. We don't pick our names. It's whatever. You get what you get. And as soon as I did that, like, it just changed everything. Like they would do that and I'd be like, oh, they must be worried now because, you know, and then it would sort of fire me up. And then from there, like people were like, oh, it's a cool name, you know, instead of like turning it into like a curse word or whatever. Like then as soon as it didn't have the power over me, it changed.
Yeah.
And that was a big lesson growing up. And you wish, like you see like some kids getting so upset about like what they're saying. And I'm like, all you have to do is not care.
Yeah.
Or at least pretend you don't care for long enough.
So much of high school, or middle school, both for me was that. I look back and like, why was I so like stressed about what people thought of me, or so embarrassed about things that are like totally not embarrassing, or even if they are, so what? You know, kids.
Most of it's everyone's going through half the things anyway.
Right. Yeah. The sooner you can get over that, the better you'll be for it.
You just don't have the world view yet. You know, you're
I think you just have to
tuned
live it.
in. Your own perspective is all you got, and you feel so alone and in that. And yeah, it's tough. I don't envy them. I'll tell you that. I'm never looking at them like I wish I was in that grade again. And it's like, I'm so glad I don't deal with that crap anymore.
I feel like that "We Want the Funk" or something like that should be your walk-off song as a pitcher, right? Like, like that's,
well, they had weaponized it on me.
Yeah,
like "We Want the Funk." Like, oh man, like they were like, you have no idea. I'm just so mad. It's like because I can't throw a strike anymore. Like, just
it's funny,
furious, and everything fell apart from that. That.
When I first started listening to your podcast, I thought it was a made up. Like I thought it wasn't your real last name. It seems like a musician would, you know, that's your music persona. Well, I'm Brian Funk.
I resisted that for a long time because of funk music. I don't make funk music, and I didn't want to have a preconceived notion. But it's so much easier once I decided to just be it.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know. It's kind of weird we have to come up with artist names anyway. You have an artist name. Like, where's that come from? I've never heard that word before. Lomotor?
Yeah, I just made it up. I just drew
just
a
like
long list. Yeah, just wrote a long list of options. I kind of just tried to throw letters around and then whittle it down to that. And I just like the look of it. I kind of like how the O's... I like spelling it too, Lomotor. I don't know.
Yeah, they're spaced out like that.
Yeah. And at the time, I was kind of thinking more techno-y music-wise. I thought, it kind of looks like a car even. Like the O's look like wheels. It's kind of cool. It's not really a nature-y thing. No, it's just made up, and I like the sound of it.
That's cool. Yeah. You know, you don't even think about it after the first time you process it. It almost just goes away.
Yeah.
That's just what they're called, you know, any artist. You're just, after a while, you don't even realize you're saying it.
Grand Funk Railroad, just talking about funk. What a weird band name. But, it's just,
Yeah.
they're just a band. You don't think about it.
Yeah. That's the funny thing about my whole life has been most of the time people show me these or bring them up or sing them at me
But you
before
don't
I
know.
ever hear them. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. I think like somebody called me Grand Funk Railroad before I ever knew what it was. Like, what?
Like, that's a
What
weird
the hell
thing
did
to
you
say.
just call me? Like, what? But it's a funny existence, I guess. We all get little things like that, Helps you not take yourself seriously, I guess.
Yeah. I also kind of like, just talk about names. I like when there's lore behind a name and it's not so straightforward, right? Like, maybe it's annoying to people, right? I've wondered about this naming the album ABCAPSILAHAD. Like, that's hard to spell. Nobody's going to remember how to say it. But I kind of like creating maybe like a little mystery, or at least that question in people's mind. Well, what does that mean? Maybe that's like putting too much on an audience. I don't know. But to me, I prefer that over something that's just called, like, I don't know, album 1 or something.
Yeah. Well, it kind of gives it a world
Yeah.
a little bit,
Right.
Like you said, it's a world, and I have no preconceived notions on it. I'm
Yeah.
not connecting it with things I already have experience with.
Yeah,
So there's something cool about that.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
No preconceived notions about what it is.
Yeah.
Make it unto itself.
I really had no idea what I was going to hear when I opened it up, which is cool. You going fresh.
Right. It's good.
I guess we've kind of been hitting on these just sort of by the nature of the conversation, but one of the cool things you sent me was your creative guide. So you have this kind of 7 pillars, 7 statements here, your creative guide. You got be consistent, be creative for yourself, ride the social media wave with caution, convenience, make it yours, perfect is the enemy of good, and one song at a time. How'd you come up with those? I see some of them might have some stories behind them as well. Any ones that you think are especially important, or?
Yeah. Most of those are just through experience or listening to other people. I think I heard BT on a podcast talking about how he has stations. Speaking of make everything convenient, it's so easy to. I mean, I do it all the time. Like, I was like, I could record this with the synth over here, but it's turned off. It literally it's like 2 buttons to turn on, and it's just like, I'll just do it in Ableton, and which is fine. Like, most of what I do are Ableton soft synths, actually, and I love that. But like, I try to set up everything in the room here as to make it as easy as possible to do it. Because if it takes 15 minutes to set up, that's lost, right? And if you have an idea that you want to do fast, I think you've talked about this too in your room. Like, make it quick. So, everything on this side here, I've got on one power strip.
Oh, that's fun looking.
Yeah.
What do you got? Some pedals and.
Yeah, so it's old drum machine. There's a Russian drum machine, some synths and stuff, and each synth has its own chord outputting from it. So all I have to do is I run them all through the pedals, but I'll just like plug that one in to the pedals chain, turn it on. It's all in one power strip, so just one on button. My interface is always on anyway, and the preamp, and then you're ready to go and you can record. So it's under 10 seconds to get going. I think that's key. And then same on the other side, just a different station, right? It's just press. It's all connected to one power switch. Turn that power switch on, and you can go.
Yeah, we keep like all the mics on the drums and the guitar amps, and I got a template in Live that I just open, and it's ready to go. It's already half mixed, and we can just record band practice, and all of these things around me are ready to go.
Yeah.
I've got the like smart outlet things. I think that's what they're called. They're like a little you plug it into your outlet and then you plug into that. So it's just like a little box.
Yeah.
But it's connected to Siri. So I just have to tell her to turn it on. I don't want to say the exact words because she's very sensitive to that. She's always listening. But look, like, what does it save me? Probably 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And maybe just like bending down on the floor to flip a few switches. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
It's just nice to tell it to come on and turn off, and then I can just start. Those little things are a lot. I mean, miking the drums or just even having the tracks inside the computer, like, that could take a while, and that's the difference between us recording practice or not.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So.
And that's cumulative too, right? Like, I think if you only do music a little bit, it doesn't make a difference really. But if you're doing music every day, if you have a couple of those conveniences, it does add up.
I think so. If you
smooth.
can steal back a minute or two here, there, a few different times every session over the course of a year, I mean, you've got extra bonus sessions, basically.
Yeah. And then you're just keeping your brain creative.
Yeah,
instead
and
of
you're
thinking
not
about
like,
the light.
I have this idea, it's great. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, right.
Let me wire everything together. And then, what was that idea? That's not a great idea. And you're out of it,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good one. Convenience.
What else is on the list? Yeah, consistency too. Just doing it. I get up early every morning just to do it, and even if it's a short while, 20 minutes or something, I think it's good to have that routine. Just get used to doing it every day, and then a lot of what you produce will probably be stuff you hate. But if you're doing it every day, you're just increasing the odds, right? It's that simple. Increasing the odds that you'll create something that you like and can create something more out of. I'd say probably 90% of what I'm doing, I don't go back and finish. It's just some live project saved. But then if I hit on something and I'm liking it, this is where the one track principle comes into, is that chase that down for as long as you've got the energy to do it. Don't give up halfway through. So when you do hit on something you like, finish that and don't leave it in your files for another year or whatever. Finish that song, make it, follow it through, spend the time to finish it. And I think you've talked about this too. Like then you get in the habit of finishing things also.
Yeah,
there's
a habit to that. Yeah, the longer it sits on the computer, the more likely it is gonna not exist.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that? The first 48 hours of a crime or something, right? Like the detectives talk about are the most important. It's kind of that way with music too. Like otherwise, the dust settles, the evidence is contaminated, and you don't feel it anymore, or another idea came up. Yeah,
absolutely.
You have to like really push the ideas through as fast as possible. I think there's some exceptions to that, but it just increases your odds, and I think it's a good way to look at it. It's sort of like a numbers game, just quantity.
Yeah,
showing up, and every once in a while something gets there.
Yeah, you dig through a lot of coal, but then you might hit a diamond now and then.
Yeah, you got to show up. Got to keep doing it. It's so much more free too, because when you have one project, this is the one of the year.
Yeah,
it's too precious. It's your artistic statement. There's too much wrapped up into it. If you're just pouring out tracks, like you can be like, yeah, sometimes I'm weird, sometimes I'm silly, sometimes I don't make sense.
I know so many creative people who are worried about all that. Well, maybe it's like it's so good, and they're just worried they don't finish anything. I'm worried for whatever reason it's not good enough, right? Like I'll listen to stuff.
Perfect is the enemy of good. You got it out too,
right? Like everybody's so worried. Like I can't put it out. It's not exactly what I want, or something's wrong with it. I don't know. I think it's a way of paralyzing yourself. Uh, what's the point of it maybe if you want to listen to it for yourself, great. But if you're nervous about releasing it, uh,
Hmm.
it doesn't seem healthy.
You know, the things that I've labored over the most, I think have the least amount of longevity with me
Yeah.
because I've already put in so much time with it, so familiar with it. It doesn't surprise you anymore. But the things that I kind of, power out, and then I can hear it a month later and be like, oh yeah, this song. And like, oh, that was cool what happened here. And those tend to just stay interesting longer. Like maybe there's just a kind of limit to how much you can listen to any piece of music.
Yeah.
And if you're going to labor over it, you'll get there sooner. Whereas if it's a fast thing, you come back to it, it's always fresh.
I've had both. Uh, I have more fun doing the ones that come quickly, right? That's the most fun I get. But I have one track that I could think of in particular, "Bee in a Bag," where I really liked. I knew I was like, this is a good synth line. Like, I want to make a cool song out of this. And I recorded a yellow jacket, a ground hornet was in the house. I caught it in a brown bag. It was flying all around the bag as I was taking it out. I had my phone. I was like, this sounds wicked. This sounds really cool. It's like this weird, crackly, buzzy noise. So recorded that and let it go outside. But I had the song that had the synth and then that sound. And I spent, I don't know how many hours and hours laboring over trying to get, I was like, I knew there's something here. I just, like, the mix is wrong or the drums aren't right. I just kept going back to it at different periods. Finally, like, I still like that song. It's one of my favorites, and people connect to that one. They like that one too. But it took a lot, and you never know. That's the hard part I think about, for me anyway. But being a musician, it's like, is this worth it? Like, you spend so many hours on this stupid thing,
Yeah.
and then
That one's
okay. Go ahead.
That one's cool. I have a sample of a bee inside it was like I think it was a Chinese food soup container, like a little plastic like quart. Like he was down here and I caught him in it and he's like inside the thing and I sampled him. And I've had the intention of putting that inside the sampler and seeing what I come up with.
That's
so
funny.
I saw that, I was like, no way.
Yeah. I wonder,
same idea.
wonder what kind of timbre the Chinese food container has versus a brown paper bag.
I bet it's different, not instead of like hitting the paper. But again, there's like a story, right? Like, and that was an accident. The bee was in your house, and and the point of you catching him wasn't to sample him. You're just probably trying to just be humane and let him free. And then you realized, oh, cool, look at this. You sort of listen to the universe.
I've had to say that to many people on Instagram. Yes, the bee is okay. I let it go. I didn't.
You animal.
I've got a couple
monster.
of those. Like, you're a killer.
Don't you know bees are endangered and we didn't have bees.
I'm like, I know, but it's really hard to put that in an Instagram story cover. Like, the song's called "Bee in a Bag," but I didn't kill the bee. Yes, I really value animals, and I didn't. Please, be nice.
That's pretty funny. Well, hey, that's what you do. You stir up a little controversy once in a while.
Yeah, I guess.
So I want to be a little mindful of your time here. Really enjoying talking to you. We should tell people, of course, like they can find your music. You're on Bandcamp, Apple Music, Spotify, all that stuff, Lomotor. You've got the new record, June 6th is the date, right?
June 6th.
Coming out June 6th, so that'll be pretty soon, something for people to look forward to. It's really cool. I'm in love with it. I'm really enjoying it. It's inspiring too, and it's fresh sounding and all kinds of stuff that I'm enjoying about music these days. So I think people will get a kick out of it, and your workflow is really cool and different, and it comes through. It's worth all the effort you're putting in, I gotta say.
Thanks so much, Brian. This has really been a thrill to talk to you, and I know it sounds weird, but I have been listening to your podcast for a long time, and I was
Thank you
kind of
for that.
shocked when
That's
you're
great.
like, yeah, let's talk. I was like, I feel like I'm meeting a celebrity. This is it's been a lot of fun to talk to you, but you're very down to earth, grounded kind of guy. So it's been a real honor to have this conversation. Thank you for listening, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, well, thanks for being on, and hopefully this is not the end of it, only the beginning,
Yeah, let's definitely stay in touch. I'd love to.
Cool. Well, guys, go check out Lomotor, Lomotor. You can go to lomotor.net. You can go to Instagram and YouTube. I'll put all the links in the show notes so you guys can see him. But check him out. He's doing cool stuff. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Music Production Podcast. If you want to help support the show, the best thing you can do is tell a friend, someone you think that would enjoy the show. I'd also love it if you could leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to support my work, you can go to brianfunk.com. I've got tons of Ableton Live packs, tutorials, samples. You can check out my book, The 5-Minute Music Producer, which gives you 365 short music-making activities to help you get started, stay inspired, and finish more music. And there's also the Music Production Club, where you get my latest releases as soon as they're finished. It gives you access to a community of like-minded people who are making music and sharing ideas. You can share your music, find new collaborators, and participate in our live meetings where we set up some kind of musical challenge and then make music together and share our results at the end. That's the Music Production Club. It's a lot of fun, and you can find that and everything that I do at brianfunk.com. Thanks again for listening to the show, and have a great day. I'm so sad the end's here again.